Hi there folks, this is Adam from 8-Badge Gaming coming to you today with the fourth and final gameplay video in our Expanded Lucario series. So for those of you who haven't tuned in so far this week, this is the deck that our own local Mike Pin of 8-Badge was able to take to first place at the very last Pokemondays, which was an expanded tournament. So as a kind of nod towards Pokemondays and to give them a wonderful call out for everything they've done for our community, we wanted to just treat whoever won by basically teching and playing their deck for the week. So we're just going to go ahead and hop into the queue there. If you are looking to see the deck itself teched, go and scroll back to our, either on our Facebook page to the deck tech video itself, or visit our YouTube channel and look for the first video in the Expanded Lucario list. So we're just waiting in the queue there so far. We're currently sitting at a 3-1 record, or I guess you would say 2.5-1. We lost to Night March. We were playing against Night March in a previous match and got disconnected due to server issues. And we have been able to beat a Zoroark deck that wasn't able to get off the ground. And we were also able to defeat a Shining Rayquaza deck. So we have our Q pair up here now, and it looks like it's Gardevoir, likely based on the fairy, either Gardevoir or Xerneas. For the coin flip, we're going to call heads, and we won the flip. So winning the flip is usually good for us. We do get to evolve essentially on our first turn that we're able to attack. Starting Lele is not a fun time though. So we do start a Lele here. We're likely just going to be using Karina on our turn. Likely going for a Riolu, possibly an Ultra Ball or something of the sort. Overall, just a trainer. Now, it might even be the Super Scoop Up, so we can get the Lele out of the active. Ooh, it might actually be Sylveon here. So, let's go ahead and we're going to start with the Level Ball. So this is the first thing. We have one of our Remoraid's prized. One of our Octilleries is prized because we don't have one in hand. We have all of our Riolus. We have all of our Lucarios, Landorus, Oranguru, Buzzwole, and Diancie. Our Lele's in play, Rescue Stretcher, we're using our Level Ball, Scoop Up Cyclone, Ultra Ball. We've got one of our Versus Seekers as prize, our Brooklet Hills are there. We've got a Guzma in hand, we've got a Karina in hand, and an N in hand. Looks like two of our Scarfs are prized, and one of our Strong. So we're going to go for the Remoraid here. We're going to just go ahead and throw it down here to begin with. We're going to Karina, and this will go for a Riolu. And I'm curious as to what else we might want to get here. It might just be an Ultra Ball that we'll use on the following turn to be able to go get what we need. Though, again, we should have gone for the Super Scoop Up. But we do have the Guzma in hand, so that is something there. We'll attach an energy, and we're just going to go ahead and pass back to our opponent here now. So what we want to do is we want to be able to deal with these Sylveons, and we want to get them out of the active. What would be great would be possibly even just using a Lucario Evolution to get up that Ralts and KO it there. We do have a Cynthia from our opponent there on a first turn. I guess they didn't have a great hand, and they immediately passed it back. So that's actually an interesting one there. Now, this was a good draw for us, which was the Karina, because what we can do now is we can go for a Lucario, and we can go for a, where is it, our Super Scoop Up. So we can use our Super Scoop Up to get our Lele back into our hand. And we can also go for our Octillery, discarding a couple of energy. So let's go Ultra Ball, discarding a couple of energy. We want to keep the Guzma and the N. We're going to go for Octillery here. Throw Octillery down. We're not going to use the Super Scoop Up just yet because we're going to see what we draw. If we do hit the Float Stone, we'll just retreat the Lele there. We did not hit the Float Stone, but we did hit a Brooklet Hill, which we're going to use to go for a second Riolu here. We're then going to Super Scoop Up, I'm thinking. Yeah, we're going to scoop up our Lele, and we're going to put our Lucario into the active and KO this Eevee. So take an immediate prize. which is going to be good for us. 240 damage due to weakness, more than enough to be able to take the KO there. So we did get our Octillery, so that is checked off there now. That we're good on that front. Now, we do see them going for the Wink Wink Sylveon. So they're going to get to be able to use one of our supporters. Now, wondering what that's going to be. We do have them evolving into a Kirlia, getting a Flabé and another Ralts there. So, let's see. We want to do what exactly? We need to be able to get an energy. Let's Brooklet Hill here for a Diancie. Kirlia is 80 HP. So we want a Guzma, but we want to get our stuff down as well. So let's go Floatstone here. We're going to Guzma up the Kirlia, put up the Octillery. We're going to retreat the Octillery. We're going to Abyssal Hand for 1 off the Octillery. We get a Brooklet Hill, and we're just going to go for an Aura Strike. So we're going to soften up this Kirlia here. If they don't have the Gardevoir on their turn, they're kind of stuck with it in the active. We do see a Floette evolving up on our opponent's side there, where we only hit for 50. We were hoping to hit a strong, basically. We're seeing, a computer search here. Likely going for a draw supporter, I would imagine. Let's see what they hit. Oh, right, they don't have to reveal, but I suppose we'll see now momentarily. They did go for a Gardevoir, and is their last card in hand a draw support? Now, that is the question, and it is not. So our opponent is currently stuck. We don't want to end here. We do have a Korrina in hand. I think we actually just go Lele here, and we'll search our deck for a supporter card. And we're going to go for a Cynthia here. Main reason for that is we don't want really any of the cards in our hand, but we don't want to outright discard the Octillery, the Versus Seeker, or the N, mainly because of the low count of Versus Seekers that we're running. We do get a Buzzwole, so that is something there, an Ultra Ball as well. Let's use Brooklet Hill to see what we have in our deck. We don't have to worry about Psychic, so we don't need to go for our Landorus over our Buzzwole. Choice Band, Strongs. We're going to just attach an energy to this Riolu here, and we're going to go for an Aura Strike. Now, this only hits for 50, sadly, as we still don't have a strong or anything of the sort, but as soon as our opponent hits us back, so we're looking likely, at least at the current rate, of them hitting back for 120. That would possibly get us a KO, because then we're just going to be able to Acerola, put our Lucario back in our hand, and go from there. We do have Florges going there now. So what is that? You may put an item from your discard pile on top of your deck. So likely putting, say, Computer Search on top. Doubtfully the Fairy Drop, going for the healing to try and keep their Gardevoir alive. So Korrina is an interesting draw. So I think we'll actually just go ahead and use the Korrina here. What do we want to get as our item, though? I think we go for the Versus Seeker, so we can force up the Florges there. We could also go for Floatstone to go for another Lucario to KO that way, because we could retreat the current Lucario. Yeah, so we'll just go for Lucario Floatstone. I don't know why it took us that long to think of that line, but we'll go Floatstone here, Evolve. This will be a KO now because it'll hit for 140. retreat into the Lucario and go for an Aura Strike for 140 for KO on the Gardevoir. So we're shutting them down a bit here now. We are currently up 3 prizes on them, and we did get a strong energy. So that means that a strong energy on a Lucario now will be able to hit for 70, which will KO most of what they have other than the Florges and the Sylveon. Now, our opponent's trying to choose what they want to put up into the active. They get to draw 1 card, which is what they already had for a turn. They did get the Fairy Drop, which isn't going to do much for them now, because we're going to be able to KO this Flabébé. Now, we did get a Remoraid here. We'll use a Ultra Ball to discard a Brooklet Hill and a Buzzwole. And we're going to go for an Octillery. Now, we're going to keep the Octillery in hand, but we're going to throw down this strong energy on the Lucario. We're going to Abyssal Hand now for 1. We did get another Ultra Ball, which we don't need at the moment, but we're going to go for an Aura Strike. So this is going to hit for 70, KO the Flabébé, and take us a prize, which is a Focus Sash. So they're putting up a Ralts here now. If they do get a Kirlia, then they will be able to evolve it out of damage range, but they did top deck a Flabébé. So we're totally okay with that. We'll go ahead and evolve this Octillery here now. We're going to Ultra Ball, discarding a Riolu and a Sycamore. We're going to go for nothing. We're going to put our Sash down on our Lucario, activate our first Octillery here. We can attach an energy if we so chose, and I think we will, because now we can actually just do Cyclone Kicks, which will KO anything that they put up, because it's hitting for 170 at the moment, and short of them going Rear Candy Gardevoir, which is possible if they top deck a draw supporter this turn. So let's see what they get. They get a Ralts, and they're just going to lose this game. Though they are just going to give us the chance to KO here. We're just not going to slow roll them. We're going to Cyclone Kick to knock out their last Pokemon and take a 6-0 win over Expanded Gardevoir. So it looks like our opponent did get stuck there a bit. It doesn't look like a traditional Gardevoir build running the Flabébé and stuff in there, the Flores, or whatever you call it there. We were able to pretty much destroy them outright. We were able to be very aggressive. They had a few good points where they needed a top deck a draw supporter, and they did not hit it. So we were able to take the KO straight up. So it ended up being pretty smooth overall, and hopefully any games we play would be just as good going forward. Alright folks, that does clue up our 4th and final gameplay video today. We do greatly appreciate your viewership. I hope you enjoyed the videos this week. We will be coming back with a brand new video tomorrow of our deck review, where we'll be discussing our matchups, the cards in the deck, and what changes we might potentially make. And really, I can't foresee really any changes at the moment, but maybe we'll get Mike on and discuss it further. So thank you again for tuning in, and this is Adam with 8 Badge Gaming signing off.